Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. When you get to this level of the playoffs, your best players are going to be available, and they're going to be great. Chris Paul is going to be great. Booker is going to be great. Middleton, Giannis. These guys are going to be great. You saw what Chris Paul did last night. His ability to get into the meat and potatoes of the defense. His ability to keep jabbing with that mid-range game that he has, which is a dying art, by the way. And he's continuously keeping it alive. He's going to be there. That's just who he is. Your best players are going to be there. So the question is what's going to be the difference in this series? Who's going to be the difference in this series? That's where the other guys come in. And that's where DeAndre Ayton comes in. He was dominant on the backboard. Almost 20 rebounds. And his efficiency, him being as efficient as he is, Milwaukee doesn't have a chance when he's doing that. So how do you neutralize him? How do you slow him down? Well, Brook Lopez can't keep him off the backboard. So that plan is out the window. So now that leaves guys like Bobby Portis and P.J. Tucker and the rest of these guys who have to gang rebound. Well, when we're gang rebounding, that's taken away from what we do offensively, having to battle him. That's taking what we're doing away. That's taken away from what we're doing offensively because we have to gang rebound in order to battle him. That's an extra job that we have with him. Not just us rebounding. We have to gang rebound against him. So that's huge for them. So, with him being as efficient as he is, I thought that he was going to be the X factor in this series anyway. I thought Brook Lopez would have a really difficult time with him, and it's showing. You know, Brook played 23 minutes last night. He only has 6 rebounds. 6 rebounds. And I took a look at I'm a huge fan of the rebound and turnover margin. Because if we're rebounding the basketball, that means that we're lessening your second chance points and more opportunities for you to make plays. So Milwaukee did that last night. They won the rebound battle. They lost the turnover battle. But that depends on where you're turning the basketball over. And when you're turning the basketball over. If you're turning the basketball over early, that means that you're careless with the basketball and it's a tone setter. Is this what it's going to be for the game? Well, Milwaukee didn't have a lot of turnovers early. Those turnovers came late in the game. And that's because the defense increased. Because when you get into the meat and potatoes of the game, the temperature turns up. And the basket doesn't look as big late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter as it did in the first quarter or in the middle of the second quarter. So I thought that Milwaukee losing the turnover battle, that was big for them. I thought that Milwaukee did a good job on Booker. Now, you might see what Booker did with 27 points and say, yo, he had 27 points yesterday. Yeah, he went 8 for 21. And not only did he go 8 for 21, he went 1 for 8 on the long ball. I thought Milwaukee did a really good job at making his shots tough. Making him, not just making him take tough shots. I thought they did a good job of making him settle for the long ball. He took 8 threes yesterday. And he only made 1. We'll live with him shooting the long ball. Absolutely we will. What we can't live with is we can't live with Chris Paul getting switched on to Brook Lopez. We can't live with that. And I was trying to make sense of what Coach Bud was doing defensively. Instead of chasing Chris Paul, what that action was in the pick and roll is they were expecting you to switch with Middleton. So instead of Brook Lopez hedging and chasing Chris Paul off the screen so Middleton can get back, they just automatically switch, which is exactly what Phoenix wants. I got a point guard. Excuse me. I got a point guard switched on to a 5-man. That point guard's, especially that far away from the basket, that point guard's going to win that matchup every time. He's not going to win that matchup most of the time. He's going to win that matchup every time. And then there's Giannis. Now, I know you're thinking, Giannis, he didn't play very well yesterday. He only took 11 shots. Okay, that's fair. He only took 11 shots. But we have to take under consideration what he's coming off of. He's not coming off of a rolled ankle. He's not coming off of a jammed thumb. Giannis's game is predicated on flight and athleticism. He's coming off potentially a catastrophic injury. So he hasn't done much in almost a week. And he doesn't get a tune-up game against Sacramento in January. He doesn't get a tune-up game against New Orleans in February. No. He has to get right back to it in game 1 of the NBA Finals. And he actually, his bounce, he looked really good getting up and down the floor. It's just a rhythm thing with him more than anything. And I think he'll get back in the rhythm. I think those 11 shots will increase. And I think he will play better. I think he'll play a lot better in game 2, especially considering it's a quick turnaround. If this was another 3-4 days, it'd be different. But it's a quick turnaround. Giannis' ability to get on the backboard was still there. You saw how he was defensively. And he makes a huge difference for them when he's doing that. So what was the problem with Milwaukee? Well, the problem with Milwaukee was I think their second unit Bobby Portis needs to play more. Absolutely. 14 minutes, that's not enough for him. Forbes needs to play more. I see what Connaughton is doing, absolutely. Jeff Teague needs to play more. Coach Bud, I think, could dig deeper into that bench and stick with those guys longer. Bobby Portis, he helps you so much on the backboard and defensively. He helps you so much. So if you got a guy like him, I think the only time he should come off the floor is if he's hurt or to get a breather. He shouldn't be off the floor very long. So for him to only play 15 minutes last night, that's not nearly enough. Not for a guy of his energy, not a guy for his ability, both offensively and defensively, and to rebound. He should definitely be playing more than 15 minutes. Definitely. Offensively, I saw Drew revert back to what Milwaukee does in terms of shooting the long ball. A lot of Drew Holiday's game is going to the basket in the mid-range. He can shoot the long ball, absolutely. He can absolutely shoot the long ball, but a lot of that is what Milwaukee does. That's part of their system. So he gets wrapped up in that. And it takes away from his game sometimes. So once he gets back to doing what he does, because I thought he did a good job on Booker last night. I thought he did a damn good job on Booker last night. Making him make tough shots, making him take tough shots. Keeping him off rhythm. If you watched, a lot of times, Booker was getting the ball in transition. In the half court, Drew did a good job of keeping the ball away from him. And when he got it, it was late in the shot clock. He wasn't really on rhythm. He was trying to get to spots. And Holiday did a good job of throwing him off without fouling. So if that continues, I'm fine with what Booker did in terms of his production. If that defense continues, absolutely. What I like to see more, I'd like to see more of Drew Holiday going to the basket because he can get more offensively. They got a rim protector in Ayton who, and I've said this already, man, I think he's the difference in this series. I honestly think he's the difference in this series, both offensively and defensively. But if Drew Holiday can get more going to the basket and in his mid-range, they'll be in a lot better shape. Much better shape than what they were last night. I can't say enough about DeAndre Ayton. We're talking about a guy who went almost 20 and 20 last night. I love everything that he's doing. the rim runner that he is, the rebounder that he is. He's the difference in this series. I don't think he's the difference for what Phoenix is doing just defensively. He's the difference in this series. I don't expect him to go 20 and 20 every game, but if he can continue to rebound like he's doing, rim running, and scoring like he's doing, they may very well make quick work of Milwaukee. They may very well make quick work of Milwaukee. I don't see that happening, but if he could continue that, that could very well happen. So, alrighty, guys. I'll see you back for game 2. I'm going live tomorrow night, and we'll get back to it. Good to see you.